Garlic is my favorite non-attacking plant in all of PvZ. This may come as a surprise, considering that garlic also happens to be a very niche and gimmicky plant. And if you've watched Creeps20, you know he has made a video on why gimmicky plants tend to suck. This video is being made in the style of him. I love his videos and was hoping to express my love for garlic as a plant. So, I'm trying to make a video like his video on spikeweed. Now, what is garlic? Garlic is a bulb of garlic. Garlic is a subclass of wall plant, being a redirect plant. There are two other redirecting plants, being sweet potato and hot date, but those will be covered later, and I think just based on where you really have to place them on the lawn for them to be effective, they actually have pretty significantly different uses. When a zombie bites Did I say zombie? When a zombie bites a garlic, it will move to one of the adjacent lanes, but not into or out of the pool. In PvZ2, it has far less health and will die a lot sooner, making its build potential far less. I have no idea how effective it is at this idea of mine, as I haven't used garlic in PvZ2 because of its less health. But I do believe it could have a possibly more instant use, where you place it to relieve pressure on a lane and move it to another. It also has very fast recharge and low sun cost, so if you brought garlic, you probably have it ready to place. This video is about PvZ1 though. I actually do enjoy how garlic kind of requires some setup to use, as in my opinion, it makes the plant overall more interesting. So, let's go over two particular builds and their strengths and weaknesses. The first build I will cover is the build that I call Lanes of Pain. The setup is to have a garlic sun column 1, 3, and 5. You could have them on 2 and 4, but then you'd have less room for sunflowers, and also have to pay more sun, so it's just overall better to do 1, 3, and 5. You have more weak lanes, but that's the only downside, and they're not even going to be weak with the amount of sun you're going to be having with the extra sun. Now, on the first 3 columns in the Lanes of Pain, you'll have 3 repeaters, which will eventually become Gatling Peas, then Torchwoods, and then we'll have Spikeweeds, and then eventually Spike Rocks going up to the front. Now, the biggest weakness, besides the one that breaks all of them, and is actually very glaring, you probably know what it is it's Pogo. Pogo's a problem. Same with Balloon, but again, like, Balloon doesn't count. Balloon basically counters everything. You have to have Blover or Cactus. There's nothing else. I don't think that counts as countering this, because you just have to bring the certain things to deal with Balloon. Pogo, just bring Tallnut and then occasionally place one down. Maybe Imitator Tallnut if there's too many. But also, if they spawn in a Lane of Pain, you might just be able to kill them first. Now, of course, everything has one big weakness. It's Gargantuars. Zombonis and Gargs are similar. Both are high health, both can insta-kill, and both hate garlic. And I mean, like, they hate garlic as in they want to remove all of them by using their immense ignorance of garlic to remove garlic. Man, I'm saying garlic a lot in this video. Garlic, garlic, garlic. Now, Zomboni is countered by Spikeweed, which is used in both of the builds, but Gargantuars aren't so easy. You can stall them with 9-hit Spike Rock or 3-hit in PvZ2, but I'm genuinely questioning whether or not there are any levels or any ways outside of mods to have a level long enough to be able to use any good build with garlic. Now, the insts you have to bring are cherry and jalapeno, because you need the cherry in order to deal with the Garg in the best way, since you can also deal with other stuff very well. And you need the jalapeno to deal with the imp. If the imp throw goes in deep on a lane that isn't defended, you've just lost that lane. Or at least had to use a mower on it. And I know instas are how you counter Gargantuar, but I don't want to hear it. It's especially important on garlic. Now, onto the other build that I like to call the Death Coup, or something like that. This is called the Death Coup because it's a series of little, coups that the zombies can walk into and get utterly obliterated by noxious fumes. There is an arguably more accurate name for this, but that's very insensitive to a certain group of people. Another name would also be the Big E, a more heartwarming name because freaking Big E sounds funny, and it's an E that's big. It has a weakness to Gargs and Pogos as usual, however it's less of a problem because the non-coup planes can defend themselves. It's a lot harder to set up, and football zombies can be very problematic if they spawn super early. But like once you set up, there's not nearly as many weaknesses as laser plane. And yeah, it's slow. Gloomshroom takes a while to recharge, and Pumpkin does. Imitator's easier, but Gloom don't have Imitator since it's an upgrade plane. In Survivors, I think it can work, but Buckets and the hard Survivors on the first waves can be kind of problematic. It's much more suited for night. In daytime, it costs a total of 425 sun for each Pumpkin and Gloomshroom. And also, I have to mention, as obviously, Gigagargs are going to destroy this in Endless. There's like one build in Endless, and for those who don't know, it's just Cob Cannons with occasionally Pumpkin to Gloomshrooms to deal with Diggers. In PvZ2, there are two other redirecting plants, Hot Date and Sweet Potato. These draw zombies into their lane rather than deflecting them off the lane like Garlic. One of them is a wall, the other is an insta, similar to Explodio. Unlike Explodio, it does a jalapeno explosion rather than cherry bomb 3x3. To make up for this, of course, it draws plants to its lane, so Wait, okay, I wrote plants in the script. Okay, I'm not nearly as big a fan of these as I am Garlic. The reason is that the goal of Garlic is to relieve pressure on the lane. And wouldn't you think you'd want the wall protecting the lane that can't handle the threat? If, say, an All-Star comes charging, you'd want the Garlic to tank the hit, rather than the All-Star, insta-killing one of the pressure plants. I mean, Hot Date also solves this. I mean, it's a freaking insta. The other option is an insta, but if you're going for redirects, you got Hot Date. I don't have much to say. Place it on the lane you want, blow up the things, and the things are no longer threatening. I do think that Sweet Potato, Hot Date, and Garlic make a good trio. We got the Insta, and the wall, and then whatever the hell Garlic is. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I mean, I've been basically trying to convince you that Garlic deserves more thought and attention this entire video. Overall, I love Garlic as a plant, and I hope this convinces you to do one of two things. Either, 1, give Garlic more of a chance and check out how cool it is, or 2, watch Creeps 20. I can't stress enough how awesome his channel is. And 3, subscribe.